I left my lights, bro. Just left my lights. Hello, beautiful people. I go by the name of Sanelesi Pesile Mabaso. And I'm about to watch a video called Stop using the wrong settings on your DJI Pocket 4. It's 12 hours. It's 12 hours and nothing much. I'm just checking out the Pocket 4 because I'm using the Pocket 4 to do my streaming right now. And I'm using, this is the wide lens. And this wide lens, all the wide lens that when I use the wide lens of the Pocket 4, and I see it, it has like a distort, like a little distort. So I don't like to use it though, but it has, so that's why I always wipe it. I try as much as possible to wipe it. But this is not a very good position and a very good like setting and picture right now. But it looks proper. But I don't like the settings right now and everything. But though, I don't know. I'm gonna continue to use this filter. It's fine. I'm using the natural tone and thingy. I used a couple of settings on it. I really can't use it. That crazily bad, that crazily awesome or something like that, if that's a word. I'm looking for a wiper. I just want to wipe this lens. Let me just use my t-shirt. This is not a good way to wipe it though. I want to use my glass wiper. But I think I can use this wide lens. This natural lens. I'm gonna live this what do you call this? I'm gonna live this wide lens for now. So yeah, let's get into the video. Nothing much. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to get inside the video and watch what's going on.
In this video, we're going to be talking about the absolute best settings that you want to change on your brand new DJI Osmo Pocket 4 to be able to get the best cinematic quality out of it and the best possible footage. And as usual for these type of videos, I try and keep sponsors out of it, so this video is not sponsored by DJI or anybody else, so that you can get the information that you need as quick as possible and get out there and start shooting the best possible footage on your brand new DJI Osmo Pocket 4. And real quick, because this video is not sponsored, I would really appreciate.
Look at the pictures, bro. Like, look at the quality. He's using a lot. Look at the pictures. It's wonderful, bro. Like, super wonderful. Seriously.
If you guys would hit that subscribe button and like this video, it definitely helps out the channel a ton and allows me to keep making videos like these. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's dive right into the settings. And the first thing we're going to change on our camera is our resolution and our frame rate. So what you want to do is you want to slide your finger upwards from the bottom, and this will bring you into the landscape resolution as well as your frame rate. Now for resolution, we always want to be shooting in 4K as much as we possibly can. And no, this device still can't do vertical 4K, which we'll get to in a second. But you want to pick 4K for your resolution because that's the highest resolution that this camera can shoot in. Then you have a couple of options for frame rates. Me personally, I shoot 99% of my content in 24 frames per second because that's the most cinematic frame rate. That's the frame rate that movies and TV shows and things like that are shot in. So if you're going for that same cinematic look, I would highly recommend that you stick with 24 frames per second. Now, if you do mainly social media content and you're looking to output for that, so anything like Instagram and TikTok, they're a lot more friendlier towards 30 frames per second. So that's the frame rate that you want to be using, which is 30, if that's your main output and that's where you plan on posting. Now, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 can do incredible slow motion as well. So if you know that you're going to be slowing down your footage in post, I recommend that you film in 4K 60. This gives you the flexibility of having normal speed footage that you can slow down afterwards, and we will get into slow motion settings if that's what you exclusively want to do. However, if you're just looking to get normal footage that you might want to slow down later, I recommend shooting in 4K at 60 frames per second. Otherwise, 99% of the time, if you know you're not going to be slowing it down, I recommend 24 frames per second. Now, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 does have additional frame rates if you want super slow motion video. Just keep in mind that with these frame rates, the video and the slow motion is baked in, meaning that you can't bring it back to normal footage. It will be slow motion the entire way through. And the way you get to these frame rates is that if you click in the bottom left of the screen, you'll get to all of your menu options. You want to go ahead and you want to pick slow motion, and then once again, if you slide upwards from the bottom, you'll see all of the different frame rates that you have available to you. Now, the highest one that you have available is 240 frames per second. This is a new feature on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, and it allows you to get super slow motion. So this is 8 times slowing something down. Now, you do have other options like 200 frames per second, 120, and so on. So just go ahead and pick the one that you want based on how slow you want the thing that you're filming to be. So if you're filming something extremely fast, 240 frames per second would make the most sense. Okay, cool. Now that we have our frame rate and our resolution set up, we now have a good base to actually dive into the settings that affect that secret sauce that help you get that cinematic footage out of your DJI Osmo Pocket 4.
Show me the sauce.
Swipe to the left from the right, and this will bring up your exposure and your white balance and things like that. And you want to click in the top right of your screen where you see Pro. Once that Pro turns yellow, you're now in Pro mode and you have more control over your camera settings. And the first thing we're going to be changing here is our exposure. So you want to go ahead and tap on your exposure, and you want to change that from auto, and you want to tap on M, which will bring it into manual. Now on the left you have your shutter speed, and on the right you have your ISO. Now personally, what I do is I follow the 180-degree shutter rule, which just means that your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So if you're shooting in 24 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be 1/50. If you're shooting in 30 frames per second, you want it to be 1/60. If you're shooting in 60 frames per second, you want it to be 1/120. You guys get the point. So depending on the frame rate that you pick, make sure that your shutter speed matches that 180-degree rule to get accurate motion blur. Now moving on to our ISO, unfortunately there are actually less options here than other DJI devices. Usually DJI allows you a range for ISO. Maybe that will come in a software update, or maybe I just haven't updated my Osmo Pocket 4 to the latest software update at the time of this recording. But at the time of this recording, I don't have those range options. So I actually leave my ISO at either 400 or 800, depending on how dark or how bright the scene is. But I've noticed that anytime I go over 800, the image starts to have some grain introduced into it and it starts to lower the quality. So I don't do that. So if your scene is really dark, go at 800. If it's brighter and you don't need that extra boost, just stick to 400. Next up, let's head into our white balance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and simply tap on that. One cool new thing on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, which we haven't received on other Osmo products in the past, is the ability to actually also change the tint on your white balance. So if you're somebody that goes in and changes your white balance pretty finely, that's really cool here. You can actually have a lot of control. Now, unfortunately for me, that new addition is gonna go completely to waste, because if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I leave my white balance on automatic for all DJI products. I think they do an excellent job of picking the correct white balance, and I noted the exact same thing with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 as well. Now, before we move on to the rest of our settings, if you change these two exposure settings and you notice that your image is looking really overblown, meaning that it's really bright and you can't really see anything, and your exposure is too high, that actually means that you need something like ND filters. So ND filters are literally just sunglasses for your camera. They help bring your exposure down so you can have the right shutter speed and still maintain accurate motion blur. And for those of you wondering, yes, your ND filters and accessories from the DJI Pocket 3 will work on the DJI.
I don't have money for the filters, man, you know? But it is what it is. It is what it is, but I just don't have money for it.
DJI Pocket 4, including your wide angle lenses. It has the exact same magnetic thread mount that the DJI Pocket 3 had. So all of your accessories will continue to work. You can simply just slap them onto your camera and then be on your way for filming. I personally use the ones from DJI because those are the ones that they sent to me and I've been using for years and they work great. So I'll leave a link for those in the description down below if you're interested in using the exact same ones. Now moving on, next up we have the color section, which is always my favorite section on all DJI products. So if you go ahead and tap on color, you're gonna have the option.
You want the color settings and everything. I think I need to buy LUTs and I saw like a very nice LUT for my DJI. Like it was like a very beautiful LUT, but it was so expensive. Like, but it is what it is. I don't want to complain.
For normal 10-bit and D-Log 10-bit. So D-Log 10-bit is actually new on the DJI Pocket 4. On the DJI Pocket 3, you only had D-Log M, which is kind of like a nerfed version of D-Log. It's a log version, but like it's kind of half-baked, which makes it easier to color grade, but you get less information and less dynamic range. So it's really cool that DJI has given us true D-Log on this, because now you'll be able to really push your colors further and get a much, much better image out of it. Now, obviously, the one caveat that comes with this is that you need to know how to color grade. So if you have absolutely no idea how to color grade and you like the look that you're seeing in these DJI Pocket 4 videos, well, I do have my DJI Pocket 4 LUT, which will also be linked in the description below, that you can go ahead and grab. It's only $5. It's literally the price of a coffee. And if you're buying this camera anyways, another...
You see, they're making money, bro.
$5 just to get really good image quality. For me, I think is a steal. And as a bonus, I've also included a LUT for the DJI Pocket 3 in that pack. So you'll get both the LUT for the DJI Pocket 4 as well as the DJI Pocket 3. So if you're a DJI Pocket 3 user watching this, a lot of the settings are pretty similar, but you'll be able to get the same look, and I'll have both of those LUTs in the link in the description below for you to grab. And as always, I also keep color recovery on. All that does is that it basically applies a transformation LUT so that you're not looking at log footage when you're filming, and it's not baked in. So it's just showing you what it will look like if you convert afterwards in post. You'll still get the full log file on your Osmo Pocket 4. This is just more of a monitoring and helpful tool. Now, if you decide that you don't want to go through the effort of color grading whatsoever, you can just go ahead and pick normal 10-bit color. This will still allow you to make adjustments afterwards slightly because it is 10-bit. You can go crazy with it and color grade, but that is nice to have if you don't want to color grade whatsoever. The normal 10-bit looks fantastic on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. And the cool thing with using normal 10-bit is that DJI has also introduced film tones. So if I set my color profile to normal 10-bit, this will activate film tones. And these are basically just like filters, like the Fujifilm film effects that you can apply. I personally don't really use this because I like to color grade my footage. But again, if you don't want to color grade and you just want something right out of the box, these film tones are an excellent shortcut for you to get really good looking images. Next up, we have our focus mode, and I go ahead and I leave this on continuous, and I want the focus mode to just be at default. I think this works really great. I've never had any kind of issues with focusing or autofocusing on the DJI.
To be quite honest, like I use the filters. I think they look very nice, you know, especially the retro filter. I wash it most of the time. I use it most of the time, and the movie filter. The movie cinematic filter, I use it. Color grade or something, whatever you call it. I use it. It's a very useful tool. It's a very useful tool.
Pocket for using this, so this is probably the one that you also want to use as well. Following that, we have breathing compensation. I always leave this on off because I hate the look of that breathing compensation happening while you're filming. It's not just for me, it's a personal preference. So if you do like that, you can leave that on, but I have it on off. Next up, we're gonna head into our image adjustment section. Again, this is another section which really adds that secret cinematic sauce to help you get really good footage out of the Osmo Pocket 4. So if I go ahead and tab that, I have the option to change my texture as well as my noise reduction. We're gonna start off with texture, which is just essentially sharpness, and I leave this at -2. So this removes all of the digital sharpening and gives the image a really natural look. It's really easy for us to add sharpening later in post. It's really hard for you to take it away, so I highly recommend that you drop the texture to -2. Next up, we have noise reduction. Now, noise reduction, I actually leave at -1, not -2, because I do want some noise reduction in there, but I don't want it to be removed completely. Again, similar to sharpening, I just don't want there to be any digital artifacts or digital noise or anything like that, but I do want a little bit of assistance from the camera, so I'll usually leave this at -1. Next up, we have the brand new custom button, which is new to the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. Now you can obviously go ahead and set this up however you want, but here's how I have it set up. Now you can set this up by just long holding the custom button, and then you'll have the option here to change your single press, your double press, and your triple press. Now for me personally, I have the single press set up to recenter the gimbal. So if I just press it real quick, regardless of where the gimbal is, it will bring it back to the middle. My double press is actually for the accessory, so it'll turn the fill light on and off, which is really handy and really cool, because the other way to do it is either you take it off or you go into the top-down menu, which just takes way too long. So this is a nice addition. And then for triple press, I actually logged the gimbal into its current setting, which is really nice if I don't want the perspective of my image to change. And then once again, you can triple press it to exit the locking of the gimbal. Again, you can set this up however you want, but this is how I have it set up personally. And secondary to the custom button is also the brand new zoom button, which is also really helpful. Now you don't want to mess with this, just leave it the way that it's set up. And the way that it works is that if you single press it, it will zoom in 2 times, and this is a lossless zoom, so you won't lose any quality. And then if you double press it, it will zoom in 4 times, which is a digital crop, and you will lose a little bit of quality, but the extra reach still looks really good in my opinion, and you'll still have decent image quality. I used it a bunch in the launch video for the Osmo Pocket 4, and all those videos looked great. And the very last thing you want to change on the Osmo Pocket 4, and this is a setting that a lot of people miss and makes a huge difference, is the bitrate. And the way you get to that is that you scroll down from the top, you click the settings gear icon on the first page, and then you scroll all the way down until you see bitrate, and then you go ahead and change your bitrate to high. This will be on standard by default, but this will give you better files. The files will be larger, but the quality will be better. And that's it. Those are all the settings that you need to change on your brand new DJI Osmo Pocket 4 to get the absolute best cinematic quality out of it. I'm really excited to see what kind of videos you guys go out there and produce with these settings, because trust me, they will make a massive difference to your footage. Now, hopefully you got everything you were looking for from this video, but that's it for this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. And until then, keep creating.
Are you
Oh, keep
tired of your YouTube
creating.
channel not getting...
That's the saying, man. That's a very good saying. Keep creating. Keep creating. We have to keep creating. So, like, yeah, basically, I just wanted to watch that video. Nothing crazy. Because I have the DJI. I'm actually using it right now. I'm actually watching it. I wish I can show you guys. The LUTs, they look very amazing. They look very good. We have to keep creating. So, like, yeah, basically, I just wanted to watch that video. Nothing crazy. Because I have the DJI. I'm actually... So, yeah, the LUTs, they look pretty amazing. Nothing much. I enjoyed the video. It makes a lot of sense. It gave me knowledge about what I have to do. As I said, I had technical issue with my laptop. I'm just gonna post whatever I can actually post for now. This is the only thing that I can actually do that is productive for myself. It's just like doing like reaction videos and some other things that I need to do, proper reaction in some other things. But yeah, nothing much. Jesus is still king. We out.